Hello, friends. Welcome to Song Breakdown. We have a really great episode lined up for you today, and I am your host today. My name is Mary Ives. I am a singer, songwriter, a producer, and an artist, and I am a part of a few projects here at Ildefonso, Inc. I have a few projects on their roster, my personal project under Mary Ives, St. Eveline, and Mood Board. And I want to introduce you to our guest today, which is my friend Brandon Burr. He's also a songwriter and a producer and an artist, and he is my fellow Boosk band member. So How you doing, Brandon?
Doing good. What's up, Mary?
Not much. Really excited to chat today. We're on the Ildefonso Inc. channel, and just a little bit about the channel. We are a full-service sync house and music agency. So we do these song breakdowns and talk to artists just a little bit about their music and what it's like to record together. So we just said that. We host shows like Song Breakdown, where we invite songwriters to hang out at Ildefonso Studios to talk about their process of songwriting, producing, and arranging. So today what we're going to be doing is talking about My Machine, which is a Boosk song, and it was written by Brandon and myself. So Brandon, let's talk about My Machine.
Yeah. Well, My Machine started in just a place of boredom and me not knowing what to do. And I texted you like, hey, can you send me any sample of a sound, like a voice memo from anywhere in your house? And you sent me your coffee machine.
Yeah.
Do you remember recording that?
I do, yeah, because it was literally right at the beginning of March 2020. So none of us had anything to do. We were very bored. And I totally remember walking up to my little Mr. Coffee and just putting my phone voice memo up to the coffee machine.
So you gave me this voice memo with like a really crunchy, was it like grinding coffee? What was happening? Or was it just like the water dripping? Yeah,
it was the water dripping. It always sounds like Mr. Coffees kind of sound like they're going through a hard time. Yeah. When they first start brewing, they're a little bit like, oh, it's so early. Come on, man.
So you sent me this voice memo, and I put it in my phone in GarageBand. I just like drag and dropped it into the sampler that's in there, and there's a beeping sound at the end. So I kind of zoomed into this beat and made this sound effect.
You have it all lined up. Yes, I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, wrong note. But what I did is I love doing this in GarageBand. I was doing it earlier before we started recording this with a guitar thing, but I love getting a sample and just making noise. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, just start making stuff and record that, but then quantize it. So you can go into track settings, quantize, and just find 4 bars of it that sounds cool.
Yeah.
And somewhere in there's probably something cool. There's a thing in here, it's already set up where this is just like pentatonic scale. You can't hit a wrong note. So just slap away, make any noise you want, and quantize it and just pick the good part. So that's how that song started. I started with that, and the main synth that's in there is that GarageBand synth. So I built a little thing together and sent it back to you. It was like, hey, what do you think of this? And then you just made vocals for it.
Yeah.
And sent it back.
So cool. That's like one of my favorite things about working with you is that I feel like a lot of times as producers, we want to talk about all of our fancy gear and all the cool stuff that we have. But I love that, like, when you and I are working together, so often it's on tracks that were built literally from your phone. Because I think when you work off of a more reserved, just in a different way than you're used to, I think it forces you to be more creative and utilize the tools at hand. And so I love making songs with you because that was like such a cool, I was kind of in disbelief when you told me after we had like finished recording and everything that this song was made on my phone. At least the first, the main part of it was made on your phone. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's
Mind
awesome.
Blown.
The main demo was fully phone, and most of the finished track is still the phone stuff. It's just all we did is I added some extra layers of Spitfire Audio has these free things called labs.
Yeah, I love Spitfire labs.
Yeah, 100% free plugins, and they're the best sounding like software synths I think you can get. Their piano, the soft piano is amazing, and there's like some mandolin and like some other like what's it called? It's like I'm gonna say this wrong, like a charango or something. It's like a South American kind of like mandolin kind of sounding thing, but there's like one of those on there. So I just started layering up, like, so you have your basic GarageBand track, put it in the Logic now, start layering things, add real bass, sent it to you, sent it to Dan Bailey for drums, and it just turned into something really cool.
Yeah. You know what? I was listening before we started recording, I was listening to the song as like a refresh, and I love this song because it's just got such like an easygoing vibe, and it's really like addicting to listen to. And I was like focusing in on the drums, and I love what Dan did to the drums. And I was curious, I can't remember when we were in like the pre-production process, did you program drums at first and then send Dan ideas, or did he just kind of go off the cuff? Like there was no example. I
have demo drums on everything that are on there, but for most stuff, I send him everything but the drums. And I don't want to influence him at all. When I send stuff to Dan, for the most part, unless it's something I really like, but for almost all the songs, I just send him the stems without drums. And it allows him to be super creative. One thing that he told me when I first like hit him up for this song, actually, I was like, hey, how much would it cost to get you to do drums? And he's like, we talked, and he was like, the main thing that it came down to was, as long as I don't tell him what to do.
Nice.
That's like the catch. Like, done, easy. I don't know what I'm doing anyways with drums, so go for it.
Yeah. That's what's cool, I think, about this project is that like you and I both, we do a lot of production work and, songwriting for other projects and stuff. But to me anyway, this project has always felt just kind of like whatever we want to do. And we have, lyrical themes, which we can talk about in a second. And, we have like, some solid ideas that we want to hit on with every song and, make it sound like a full project that's related. But at the same time, it's just all about like having fun and like being as creative as we can and like just having that be an outlet. Do you agree, or do you have like
for me, it's the same thing. It's this project, this song, even like, I don't know what genre this is, alternative, indie pop. I have no idea what to call it. It's something, but, like the instruments that we choose to use, the chords we choose to play, the sounds we're going for, all of that, there's no rules at all. Whereas there's so many projects that we're in that have a focus and you're trying to tell a certain story. This one, it can go wherever it wants.
Yeah. And what's cool about, kind of like the conceptual aspect of this project that, Boosk is kind of like a little robot guy. And then my character is Sevi, who she's human, but she's living in this like android type of universe. What's cool about all of that is that even though that's like, that is a concept, there's so much surrounding that you can just be free, like you're acting as a character. And I think that's the beauty of just having as many projects as you want, like musical projects, is that you just get to be kind of a different version of yourself in so many different ways. Like, talking about the lyrical concept behind this song, I remember when I was writing the lyrics, because I just kind of wrote whatever, and I was like, do you like it? I can change whatever, but it was just kind of like whatever came out in the moment. Not really like freestyling, but like just writing down random thoughts that I was having in that moment. And so much of it was inspired by what I was actually feeling at the time, like being in the early days of lockdown, not knowing what was going to happen. Just, like the lyrics of the chorus saying like, these days are an opinion I heard on the TV. Like, there was so much being thrown at us at that time. And I kind of took solace in like the lyrical concept of, maybe this other version of me that lives in like, Android universe is out there exploring and having fun and like, doing her own thing with her robot best friend.
Yeah.
Like that's something cool that you can do like with all of your different projects. And I find that to be like one of my favorite aspects of Boosk, that it's just like we get to talk about whatever we want to. What do you think?
Yeah, it's weird how it started off as like, okay, these are characters and we'll write from their perspective. But through that, I feel like I've been more honest in any of my songwriting I've ever done. Like more of the real me comes out in this, pretending to be a character, than any other project. So
yeah, totally. I'm with you 100%. I want to talk a little bit about the different instruments happening on the track. I mean, we already talked about that a little bit, but just like getting deeper into the guitars, the synths, and the bass. You know, Dan Bailey did the drums, so he would be more knowledgeable maybe about like, you know, what mics he used and stuff like that. But, you know, you recorded all the guitars, all the bass, and all the synths. So I'd love to hear like, you know, what was your favorite aspect of that? Or do you have any like specific instruments that you were like, this is the thing that needs to be on this song?
Well, the GarageBand on the iPhone was for sure the core of this song. Right. And that synth part, like, just wouldn't have happened if I was playing on a normal keyboard, because the way that you like slide your hand to do like the pitch bends, and then also the fact that I just was randomly hitting things and then found 4 bars of it that sounded cool. So starting with that for sure needed to be there. And then when I started layering on the other stuff, I always leaned to like really lush, like atmospheric kind of sounds. Yeah. So it was just layering and layering and layering. So some of the lines that are in there's like some little stabs and hits that happen where like one of it'll be like the iPhone keyboard doing one of the hits, but then it'll be like the Spitfire Audio Labs like guitar thing doing another hit, but then a real guitar doing another hit, and then a ukulele doing the same thing. So it's like 4 or 5 instruments playing the same thing to give it a lot of depth and texture.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then when Spencer is mixing it, you know, he's doing a lot of things, like he's moving stuff and panning things and putting verbs on different things that make it sound even bigger than it is. Yeah. The bass on that, I really like how that came out, and it's just my Mustang bass, and it's layered with a synth bass from one of the Spitfire Labs. So cool. There's 2 of those, and they're playing in the same register. So there's only like a couple moments where they, like, because of what I'm playing, they separate a little bit. But it's just a lot of texture.
Yeah, that's so fun. And I love the way that Spencer mixed it, and just the way that it came out. I could listen to it like all the time. And which is funny because sometimes when it'll pop up on my liked playlist or something, and Jake, my husband, will be like, "Oh, you're listening to you again." I'm like, "Yes, I am," because I love this song. It's so catchy. So listener, if you haven't heard it before, you should check it out on Spotify. It's Boosk, Boosk. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks, Brandon. Is there anywhere else that we can find Boosk for our viewers?
Well, yeah, it's on Apple Music. It's on Spotify, all the other streaming platforms. And then you can follow us at or on Instagram at Boosk Music.
Excellent. Yeah. And here, say hi to us at ildefonso.co. We are always here. We're always making more content. So give us a follow, say hi. And yeah, we're also on Twitter at Ildefonso Inc. and Instagram and all the places online that you want to be. We're there too. So we'll see you next time. Thank you, Brandon, for joining us.
See ya.
Listen to Boosk online. Bye.
Waking up, making back